Hi everyone and welcome. It is Wednesday at 5:30. I'm Marcie Besecker, your independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. Hello and welcome. I have sound today. I hope I'm focused and all is well. Don't look at the mess. I'm still kind of reorganizing some stuff back there. Let me just get myself connected. I am feeling much better. Don't look at the mess. Oops. I'm feeling much better. Not 100%, but I'm getting there. Way, way better than I was a Sunday and Monday. Monday for sure. Monday I wasn't feeling so great. But I'm better. Now to find my little notes to share with you guys. So, funny, do you guys ever order something from a fundraiser and then you forget what you ordered? I just had a girl, a friend of my daughter's, message and say, oh, I have your fundraiser order. I'm going to drop it off right now. Oh, okay. What did I order? Because I've ordered several fundraiser items. So I got some nothing but cakes. So that's fun. And then I know I ordered C's candy. So that's going to be coming. Lots of junk. Hi, Becky and Jennifer, Stephanie, Carol, Linda, Debbie, and Terry. Welcome. Hi, Debbie, Sharon, and Danielle. Welcome, everybody. No sound. Sharon, that was my last video. I didn't have sound. I hope I have sound this time. It looks like I do. Hello, Mindy and Felicia, Mary, Patty. Welcome. So I got all of my Christmas gifts wrapped between last night and this morning. I still have a few that were delivered today. And I have a couple more deliveries, but then I am done. So I'm super happy about that. I'm glad I started early. Except, you know, when you hide your stuff and you put it away and then you're like, oh, I should start wrapping so I can kind of see who has what, and I need to even it up, and do I need to get him more or her more or whatever, and then you find stuff that you forgot, and then you're like, oh, well, now they have this much more, so now I need to get something to even it up. It can be expensive if you don't remember what you have, right? Hi, Tashana. Hi, Deborah. Welcome. So I have been playing with some new stuff, and oh, good, Nancy, you make me feel so much better. I said if it's eaten in December, there's no calories, right? So we don't have to do it. I know, Mary, it's rough. My mom, we used to tease her because she would find stuff at Easter time. We would get little Santa Pez dispensers. We'd tease her, Mom, was this supposed to be for Christmas? And she'd be like, yeah. Oh, Sharon, you're funny. The earbuds will do it for you. So look at our cute card today. So I have some little tips and tricks about this card, I have to say. I will just let you know that when you put your card down like regular shaker cards and you want to put your little filler there and then lay your card on top. These little gumballs just... I found like 3 on my desk this morning and I thought I picked them all up and they just rolled away. So I've got some helpful tips on that. Today is free shipping. If you don't know, with Stampin' Up, I'd love for you to order from me. There is free shipping today. So this is the day if you want to get your inks or some papers or maybe some little last minute items for your last chance or your clearance items. It is free shipping on $50 or more. So it's a perfect time to take advantage of that. Maybe stock up on your dimensionals or your adhesive or whatever. So that's something to think about. I am much better, Gloria. Thank you. I still am kind of congested, but I'm so much better than what I was. I've been sleeping a lot. You are, Jennifer. I know you will. It's so cute. And you know, it's funny because I do dome cards and I like them. I just tend to not do as many, but this is so adorable. I just really love the whole card. And if you'll notice, the DSP in the back is from the, I think this is either, let me double check. I think it's the, I was thinking it was abstract, but I actually think it might be the Valentine. I have them both in the same container here, so let me just double check. I think it might be the Valentine now that I'm thinking about it. Yes. So the Valentine paper is this on one side and this on the other. And it matches the gumballs perfectly. If you look at the colors, there's red, there's the blue, the green, the pink, the purple. They're all in here. So it's so cute. I need to place an order. I just ordered last week. I know, Gloria, but free shipping. You can't pass that up. Did you get the domes? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. The domes are part of the gumball. They're different domes than we've had before. They're super kiss. You know what I think they'd be really cute for too? Is fish bowls. Wouldn't those make a great fish bowl? If so, you mail them. You could mail them, Felicia. What did you do with your room? Oh, can you tell that it's filled up? So I moved my stuff up. Okay, so this shelf up here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a decorative shelf with little, you know, things and cards and stuff. And then up above is my retired stuff that I keep. Well, I moved some of my Christmas stuff up, and then I put the newer stuff over here so I can reach it. And so I kind of reorganized a little bit. Hello, Virginia. Right, Terry, the snow globe one's for fish bowls too. I like this one because it's a little wider on the bottom and a little more narrow on the top, a little closed more. So it's really a super cute card. Oh yeah, Shauna, that would be really cute. Thanks, Debbie. So think about that. I mean, I pulled out this paper thinking, oh, you know what? It's nice and simple but colorful, and I wanted to do the gumball machine with it. And then I realized that it matched perfectly. So we'll get busy on that in just a second. Couple more things I want to tell you besides free shipping today. So don't forget, it is later in most places, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and it's only 5:30 in California. And we have until 11 o'clock our time to put the order in, I believe. I'm going to put it in by 10 so that I don't miss it, because that would be awful. The other thing is bingo is coming up. It is on the 14th. We have a lot of people still joining, so that's really good. It is going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a fancy fold, a regular card, a card using the days to remember. So these are the stamp sets and punches and dies we're going to be using. And then we have a great 3D product that I think you guys are going to love for a stocking stuffer, and it's super simple. I will have a PDF for the 3D item and for the fancy fold, so you'll also get that. Hi, Patricia. Welcome. Hi, Annette. Oh, good. I hope you'll enjoy it. Okay, so besides the bingo, we also have paper share. So the paper share, you're going to get a quarter of each package of all of the new paper and the specialty papers. So that's going to include the, I think it's called Subtle, their new name, so give me a minute. The Supple Shimmer paper is going to be the layered vellum, which is the one with the map and the small font, the print. And then also the Mother of Pearl. And you guys saw me do my last card with the Mother of Pearl. So all of those will also be included. in addition to the 8 DSP sets. So I get a package, I cut it in quarters. You are being charged for a quarter of each package and shipping to me, which is divided among everybody, and then shipping back to you. And so, and I'm only charging, I believe, $5 for shipping, and I'm probably going to flat rate it to you because it ends up being a bigger package. Oh, Gloria, you're going to love it. Yeah, don't forget on the DSP and the gems, which here's part of my gems, but for the Eden's Garden, it's going to be gone. Well, these are a little used, but these are only through the end of the month and or while supplies last, because they will not be in the new catalog, although Eden's Garden will be. So it's kind of like the butterflies last year. The Brilliant Butterflies had that gorgeous paper, and then it was gone. That's what's going to happen with the Eden Garden paper and the embellishments. So if you want those, today is a perfect time with free shipping to get those. Debbie, as long as you let me know that you're going to do it, I will count you in when I prep your kits and everything. Bingo is still open, and I'm going to do a few extras. I usually cut it off if it's next week on the 14th, I believe. I'll probably cut it off the 10th, so a couple more days this weekend, just so I can, probably Sunday I'll cut it off, just so I can make sure I have enough kits. Christmas is coming. It's going to get crazy. I will make a few extras, but those tend to go fast. So just let me know for sure if you want to do it, and then I'll include you. And you can pay day of if you guys need to. Just let me know so I can kind of count you in. And like I said, I'll make a couple extras. And so if last minute somebody wants to get in, they probably can. All right, let's get started. So we're going to create this adorable card. And what I used is the Sweet Talk paper. So like I said, this is... again, with the paper share, if you're like, oh, I don't really want to do Valentine paper and I won't do this paper or that paper, think about that you're going to turn these over, and you could use these other sides for multiple things. So when you turn them over, there's different images on the backs that you might use a little more than what you would. So you have all these stripes. And then you've got some more subtle sides to the paper. So don't think, oh, I don't want all those hearts, I'm not going to really use them. I mean, look at all these other papers that you could use. So every card, every set is like that, that you could use something different. So we're going to stick with our stripes because I just love how they coordinate with our gumballs. The other thing we're going to be using is our gumball machine dies, and then also our sentiment here. We're going to use this sentiment. Now I'm choosing to use the dies versus the stamp set, but you can look here if you wanted to stamp it and just do a card and not do the dome. You could do that because you've got this dome image right here, which would give you some nice little glare images and stuff on it to make it look realistic. So that's something we can do, but we're going to set that aside and we're going to work with our dies. So let me see. I kept, when I did my stamp set on this particular set, I chose to keep the more stiff acetate, and I'm going to use a little piece of it so I can keep our little balls there in our gumball machine. And I'm going to show you how difficult these little guys are. They could run away, but we're going to show you some little sneaky things on what to do to keep them. So the first thing we're going to do is we have our card base, and what I did is I'm going to do a red on the inside, and then I'm going to add just a little strip of the paper that we're going to be cutting off. So we'll do that. And so here we have our real red. And I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to cut it the same, and I think it's 4. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it's 4 by 5 1/4. And so that's what this should be. And I'm using a different grid, so I'm going to make sure. All right, so that's going to be our front layer. So this one's going to go just slightly down. So we're going to go 3 3/4 by 5 on our rainbow paper. And so I kind of look at the colors, and these are lighter colors, and I like the deeper colors up here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on the bottom on the inside, because it doesn't really matter. So we're going 5 on this. Okay. By 3 3/4. And if it's a little smaller, I can't remember what I did on the first one, but we're just going to go with this because we might add a little more red, and that's okay. No, this is what I did. All right, so we're going to add that there. And now we're going to make sure that this is 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. And then I'm going to take my white inner piece. Hi, Olivia. Hi, Carol. And we're going to go, instead of 4, I'm just going to go down a little bit because we already did that at 4. So again, 3 3/4 by 5. And then we're going to add this piece at the bottom. See, this is the piece we cut off on the side, but I like all the different colors. And so we're going to do this at 3 3/4 also. So it just is the same as what we did on the inside. And then I'm not going to worry about our little red pieces. We're going to add one, so we'll just move those aside for now, and we can just cut that off. Hi, Regina. How are you? Oh, Olivia did get to see the bingo. Okay, so what we're going to do is, this is the gumball machine here, okay? And then this layers right on top. At first, you're like, what are all these pieces? Okay, so this layers right on top like that. We're going to use our gumball. We need that one. We're going to use that with silver and this with silver. This is our little knob here. Now, this little circle here can cut out your little 5 cent, but I used my little punch because I had it, and that's what I used. Okay, we're going to use our lid, and look at this tiny die right here. This is the tiniest die, and I just put up my magnet bowl out of the way when I was doing all of my Christmas stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of tape, if I can reach it, and I'm going to put this right here on my piece of tape, and I'm just going to set it aside because I do not want to lose that teeny tiny die because it is so tiny. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do is we're going to just die cut those out first. All right, we need this piece and we need this one. So all of the odd looking ones. Now these are all the candies for the inside. That's the little gumball machine that goes with here. Okay, and then we've got some cute little hearts and different things. So we're just going to set all of these aside. We don't need any of those. I'm going to move those all over. Okay, so then we can pile our other ones back up. I'm going to do our silver items first, so we're just going to move that aside. And I have this little piece of silver right here. So we need our little 5 cent, our little front of our panel, which is right here. We're going to use this little dial here, this one. And then I made the top of the gumball machine silver too. So this is just some brushed silver. This is the lightest one in the pack. And so we're just going to do this really quickly. And I waited to show you the die cutting because there's all kinds of little pieces, and I just kind of wanted to show you what went with what. So we're going to put that And we're going to do this one, and I'm going to bring in my little tiny piece right here. So those are all on the silver. So let's get those done. Oh, see my paper? I knew it was going to slide all over. That's okay. Hi, Regina. Hi, Nina. Welcome. All right, so we have, okay. I'm going to pick up our little tiny piece here and make sure I put it right in the middle of that little gumball so I make sure I didn't lose it anywhere. Okay, so now we have our pieces. We have this little tiny silver piece, which is so tiny, but it makes such a difference on your card. I'm going to lay that right on top of the other one. Okay, so our silver pieces are done. Whew, thank goodness I didn't lose that little tiny die. Now we're going to bring in some real red. And now we're going to do our machine. So we're going to do our large part. And then the layering part that we're going to put right on top of that. We need this. And so we're layering red on red. And I like the look of it. You don't have to put silver or, you know, any other colors on to make it. I mean, you could accent with a lot more silver than we're doing. But you don't have to. All right, and then we're going to do this one. Okay, and then what I did is I took a piece of white, and I also am going to do the background of our gumball machine. Just because I don't want the stripes in the background. I want it to look like, you know, there's a gumball machine there. And even though it's clear and you can normally see it through, I wanted the gumballs to be the main focus. And I thought that the stripes would just kind of detour from that. So I went ahead and put that in. That's optional. You don't have to do that. But I chose to do it. And I don't know that we really needed to, but I like being able to just see the gumballs. Okay, I'm trying to hold my machine and not slide my paper all over so much, but it is what it is. All right, be careful when you pull it out because you've got a lot of little dies that could just slide all over, so be careful of that. All right. So we have our white piece. We have our two main pieces here. I'm trying to put them right back on my magnet so I don't lose them. And not on top of each other, hopefully. There we go. All right. So now we have our pieces. We'll pick all these up. Okay, so when you pick these up, make sure this piece here, we don't need those, we don't need that, but we need this. So these are different than those little ones that come out of this. Okay, so the ones that come out of here you don't need. But we want those and this. Okay, for now I think that's all we're going to use for the machine. We'll come back to it in a minute. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I like to bring in my silicone sheet because we're going to do a little bit of gluing. So we have our gumball machine here, and this is going to go right up here to the top. And you can see the little edges. There's like, oh, wrong spot. There's like this little groove right here because the top part is where you're going to put your gumball machine. So let's just worry about this sliding right up there and gluing that down. So we'll do that first. All right, let me see if I can get my, I know it's going to move again, but that's okay. Kind of glue it down here for now. All right, so Let's just add our little bit of glue. My grandson's been sick. He has an ear infection. I haven't seen him. I saw him last Friday, I think. But he's been sick. And then now my daughter-in-law's sick. My son's not sick. But my husband and I, we never get sick, and we both got sick. All right. But my husband had more of a chest thing, and mine was more of just a head cold, so that's not unusual for me in the winter. Okay, so see, it just adds another little layer. It's kind of hard to see, but see, there's just like another kind of layer there. And now that's going to be a lid. This goes on the very bottom. It's going to add another little layer. I think I'll bring the camera in for you just a little bit. Hold on. Right, so we're just going to put this on here and add it on. Okay, so maybe that's a little easier to see. Okay, so now we're layering that. This is going to go, let me double check. Oh, this goes on the top. So we're going to, I do this after. We could put this on ahead of time. Let's put this on now. So that just goes on the bottom here of the rim. So we'll add that. And it kind of gives you a little groove, so you kind of know that something could go there. And when you look at all your little die pieces, you're going to be like, okay, this goes somewhere. That's what I did. Just kind of figure it out. All right, so there's that. And now at the very top up there, I'm going to bring in my little silver pieces, and that's this one right here. So what I did is I just did a tiny bit, just a little beaded line right there. It's so tiny. And then take your pick tool and then just pick that up. Just lay that on there. I'm looking at how tiny this piece is. It reminds me of a story the other day. So my husband and I, we were going to bed, and he wanted to watch this show, and I'm like, you go ahead, because he's starting to feel better. I'm like, I'm going to go to sleep, but it didn't bother me. I said, just turn it down. And he goes, okay, he goes, you know what, I'll just turn it all the way down, and I'll turn on the captions. I don't even remember what it was. And I said, okay, that's great. And he turns it down, and the captions come on, and honestly, they were like a 6 font. They were so tiny, and he was like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, what happened? And he goes, this font is so small. How in the world can anybody read this? And I was laughing so hard, because I was like, well, I guess you can turn it back up some. I couldn't read. I mean, I could read it, but it's because I have my super duper contact lenses on. Okay, so now I'm going to take my memento, and I'm going to stamp my little 5 cents, and I just did it in black. And like I said, there is a little die in there, but if you have your little punches, and honestly, I don't get rid of any of my punches. Keep your punches because they kind of come up. It's going to show a little circle around it, and I don't know if the die does or not, but that worked out quick and easy and fast for me, so that's what I chose to do. And again, you've got all these little tiny stamps, so I'm going to put that back so I don't lose it. And then we'll just stick a dimensional on that right now and set it aside. Maybe a dimensional will make it a little bit bigger so I don't lose it. Just a little one goes perfectly right on there, so we'll just put that right up there. Okay, So that's perfect. Hi, Sherry. Okay, so now what I did is I'm going to take my colored paper and my DSP and kind of figure out where you want your gumball machine at. You know what I did actually? Let's do this first. What I chose to do is I took one of our round brads out of our little brad. So I got the little white one. You can choose whichever you'd like, but I did the white. And then what I did is I took my pokey tool and all I did is poke a hole right in the middle. Super simple. And then I took our little knob, and I didn't worry about like making this lift up or putting a dimensional or anything up above it because it still twirls. I just put it on and it still twirls around. And then I opened it up. And then I just kind of, I take something and I push on it because it can be pushed all the way down. That way it just flattens it on your card, but you can still turn it. It's just cute. And then we're going to take our little 5 and put it right up here where the little slot's at. And you don't have to put it there. That could be like the nickel slot and you can move it over somewhere else. I just chose to put it right there. Just because otherwise when I looked at it, I'm like, what's that slot for? I don't get it. And then I realized. But I just put the 5 cent right on there because I thought it was cute. And then I'm just going to add here. Now I have to tell you, there is a slot. Let me show you. There is a slot in here underneath, and there's a slot right here. So until I figure out how that works and why that's there, because I don't know. Does anybody else know? There's a slot in the gumball machine and there's a slot here, and I know it goes like that unless you're supposed to put the 5 cent like it looks like it's going in there. But I chose to do it this way. It's a 5 cent gumball machine. What happened to penny candy? Alright, so we're just going to put this right on the front. So I put that there, and I'm not worried about opening that quite yet. But now you're going to kind of think about where your gumball machine's going to go. And then this is going to help your spacing. Okay, because then you're going to have your lid that goes right here. And so I'm going to move it down a little bit. I don't want it to go off the page. So I'm thinking this line right here is going to be where my image is going to go. And then we'll move that there and move that here. Yeah, I think the money goes in there too. Like you could like have your nickel halfway through there or something. Or maybe this could go up over the side so you could see the slot. And maybe if you don't put that on in the red part, you could see it. But okay, and then we're just going to put that here. This is going to go down. You want that rim in the back to go down a little bit. And then that's going to go in here. So that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just mark right about here is where I want my gumball part to go. So I took a pencil and I'm just going to do a little line on both sides just to kind of give me an idea of where I want to be die cutting. Now remember that this is larger down here and smaller on the top. So I'm going to put this die right about there, and it doesn't have to be exact, but I'm just going to take this off the side really quick and die cut this part. Okay, so now we have our part there. And now you have your extra part if you want to make this a fishbowl in the background or whatever. It's kind of fun. Yeah, that's what I think too. That's where the money goes. But I don't want money sticking out. So I think it'll be more fun just putting that there. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our red. Let me make sure this is our front piece and not our inside. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be our front piece. So let's go ahead and we can adhere this. Let's go ahead and put our dome. So here's our little Gumball machine shaker domes. Hi Crystal, how are you? All right, so there's our dome. You get 10 in a pack. So I'm going to take this sticker off right here. Put that down and put our sticker right on top. Okay, so there we go. Now we can pull this right up to the base here and adhere it. So I'm going to add my glue. Now, one of the things I did do is I wanted to see the gumballs. So with my white paper, I took, where are my scissors? I just took this little bit of paper and I'm going to adhere it right on the top here, because if you notice here, we're going to have our little gumballs coming out. Okay, so I just put white just so we can see them a little bit better. So we're going to do our adhesive back here. And I'm going to go right across the bottom. Of course, you don't want to put it on the little door. But I am going to go a little close to the edge here so I can get my white piece on. Okay. And even if it doesn't stick just exactly right, you're going to put some more adhesive on here. I'm just going to add some dots because I don't want to rub it. And now we're going to take this and come right up to our dome. And go ahead and lay that down. Okay, so now you have your gumball machine and you have that white paper in there, so that's going to lay down. Yeah, Marcia, that's what I was saying. It's such a cute little thing. You can make a little fishbowl out of that. It's perfect. All right, so now what you do is we're going to add our topper now. So let's do that first so we don't forget our little gumball top. Oh, it's okay to fall on my nail, just don't fall on my project. All right. Perfect. All right. So there's our gumball. I'm going to move that, slide that just to the right a little bit. Okay, so there's our gumball. Now, what I did, remember as I chose to put the white in the background. Okay, so we're going to lay this right here. Okay, and I'm going to get an idea of where the white is. So what I did is I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of my gum machine here. I'm going to eyeball this, and I'm going to want this right about there. So I'm just going to kind of check it out, make sure that that's what I want. just because I like the white background. Now you don't have to have the white background. You could have just kept your colored. Okay, so to me it's way to the left, so that's why we have one little glue dot. We're going to pull it over a little bit and just kind of get an idea of where it's at. Now that's too much. Okay, I have another idea what we could do too, so we'll do that in a second. And I'll show you some different ways. You could, once you get your gumball machine and everything all put together, you could just add a tiny glue dot, and I'm going to show you how to do it that way. Okay, so now what I did is I took some of that acetate. So when I did my stamp set, you know that there's a thinner acetate and a thicker. I like the thinner on my stamps because you could pull them up and it's easier for them not to stick to this. Sometimes the little ones do, like this. But if you use the thicker one, for sure those stick. So I prefer to use the lighter one, but I kept this thicker one so that I could adhere it right here. So I'm just going to cut this piece off right here, because when I put my glue dots down on my image, they just rolled everywhere, and you don't want that to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it this way. So these I've already used this much, this many glue gumballs already. Okay, and this is so full still. Look how full that is. You wouldn't even think I took any of those out, but I sure did. So I'm going to put them in my hand, and then I roll them in, kind of get an idea of how many you want, and I think that's good. I might have went a little overboard the first time, but that's okay. I like a lot of them. All right, so now what I did is I'm going to take off this. So I'm going to do my white paper yesterday worked out perfect. Today it's not, so, but I had another idea after thinking, oh, that would have been a smart idea. So we're going to do that today. So now I'm going to take my acetate, and it doesn't have to be super clean or anything because it's going to go up against white. You're not going to even see it. And you're just going to stick it right onto your sticky paper. See? Now you have your gumballs in there, and you don't have any issues. If you would have done it the other way and laid them here, they went everywhere. Like I said this morning, I had gumballs everywhere. So now I can take, and this is going to hide up underneath. The edges here are going to hide. So I'm going to take glue dots, and you guys know if you watch me that I turned these glue dots backwards because I didn't like the way they were. But the problem with that is my thing is unraveling, but that's okay. Now I'm going to do my glue dots hanging off. Can you see how they're kind of hanging off a little bit? Because otherwise you're going to see them. Could you have cut a square of... Yeah, you could have. You could have just done that instead of the acetate. That's a good idea, Terry. But when I did it yesterday, which that's brilliant, but when I did that yesterday, I already had my white attached. And my white was where I wanted it, but it wasn't, and it was already attached on here. Oops. See, now I can't even see. Let's see. But yes, you're right. Instead of acetate, you could have just added the blue paper. I mean, the white paper. That's a very good idea. Yesterday, mine was already attached, so this is kind of how I went about it. And you definitely don't have to do this. You don't even have to add the white back there if you don't want to. I chose to do it. And then I just put my adhesive all over. And now you can center it. But yeah, if you did white, that's a very good idea. Tonight, that would have been a better idea. You could trace the red before attaching the dome to the DSP for placement. Yes, that's true too. Good idea. See? We learn from each other. Okay, so now I have my white underneath that I wanted. And I have my white under here. And that's not that big of a deal, but I wanted the little gumballs to really show through. So now we're going to do our sentiment. And I liked wishing you the sweetest day ever, because it could be a birthday, it could be Valentine's Day, it could be whatever you want. And then on the inside we have, may your day be filled with all the best things. So that's going to be our sentiment. So let's stamp these. I have a dimension, I have a glue dot stuck right on my nail. I can feel it. I'm sticking to everything. Okay, so let's do the inside. Okay, so I'm just going to try and make this. Okay. And then on this one, I have this scrap paper here, so I'll do my sentiment on here. And I'm going to make it as close to the bottom, and I'm looking at the words on the bottom to go straight across. All right. So of course I love, love, love my trimmer. So I'm going to do the bottom first because I want to get it a little closer and I have more room to work with it. And then I'm going to do this side. Like that. That was a little close. Ooh, scary close. Alright, and then we'll do this one. And then I'm going to shorten this side up just because I already did the other side. So I'm going to take a piece of paper and slide it to get it just about where I want it because it was pretty close. Alright, that's close enough. Alright. So don't forget, always take another piece of paper and hope you're pulling that over. Oh, thank you, Ada. I hope so. I'm feeling better already, so that's good. All right, so now I thought it would be fun if you look here on the other side of this paper are the hearts. So this is what I cut off when I cut this 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 by 5. So here's an inch here. So I'm going to turn this over and we're going to put this sentiment on here. And so I'm just going to kind of put it up in the corner. Yeah, Tashana, when you take another piece of paper, now sometimes if it's, you know, bent a little bit or DSP, it's not quite as thick. That it's a little harder to deal with, but if you just take another little piece and slide it, keep sliding it because you know your paper's even, then that works out really well and it's easy to keep your paper straight. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to look, just kind of eyeball what I've got on the other side. Again, I'm going to take this piece of paper and we're going to go like this. Like, see how it's going underneath? Oh, it was going underneath. You can kind of catch it wrong if it's thinner paper. I think I'm going to go a little thinner. All right, so there we go. So there's our little sentiment. Okay, so we're going to just pop that up. See how it was such a fun set. I really had fun with this one. Alright, we'll have two that I accidentally took the sticky stuff, the paper off, so we'll just use those. Put that right there. See if I eyeball it straight. Now, before we do and work with the little tiny gumballs, what we're going to do is we're going to put our inside together and put it on our card base. So here we have our pieces there. Remember, we took off this little piece here for the bottom, and we have a little red strip, a couple of them. So let me take a look. Here's a thinner little piece. I think I'm going to like that one better. So we're going to add our colorful piece. I would really appreciate a thumbs up, you guys, if there's anything you learned or liked, or just because you'd like to support me. I really appreciate it. It helps my channel a lot. And I know you guys can't see the analytics and all that stuff, but it makes a huge difference when you get a lot of comments after the video. Come back, say hi, let me know how you liked it. Let me know what you want to see next. Ooh, next, I have one for Sunday already, but for next Wednesday. Sundays is going to be the Grove. The Grassy Grove. So much fun. I loved it. It was a lot of fun to play with. So make sure that is on your list. You will love it. Okay, so I noticed that this piece, even though I just put a new blade on, it's a little rough. So just take your scissors, and I like to just open them up, and I just kind of glide it right along, and it usually just cleans it right up for me. Rhonda, I'm glad that's going to help. Yeah, I've learned things like that too, and then I think, oh, had I only known, that would have made my life so much easier. But hopefully going forward, it'll be a helpful tip. It takes a long time. Sometimes it's funny, people say, where did you learn that? And I'm like, along the way. I do not know. All right, so there's our inside. Lovey, love, love, love it. It's colorful, it's cheerful. We have a sentiment on the inside. Again, my granddaughter would love this, even for like a birthday card. So cute. Of course, I use the thick white, basic white cardstock for my base. Okay, look at how colorful that is. And we could even stamp little gumballs right there, but I'm not. We're gonna play with them on the front. I'm going to add glue. And people ask me what's in my little glue bottle here. This is what it is. It's the multi-purpose glue. It's smaller for me to use. And so it's just easier. See how I got glue right at the top there? So what I do is I tend to start down and then move my way forward. So it just takes off that excess glue and it won't ooze all over the place. So all about making it work. All right, now it's time. We're going to open up the little gumball machine here. Oh, good, Linda. Very cool. I'm glad. I hope you're enjoying it. I don't use mine a lot because I still really love dies, but yes, for no fussy cutting, that is the way to go. Okay, so what I did is I'm going to take out some little gumballs, and so I did it this way. I probably want one more red. No, I have 2 reds. So I try to do a little bit of every color. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add some glue, and it's okay if you have a little much in here. You just want your gumballs to stick. Okay, so I do 2 little rows. One row at the bottom a little longer than the top row. And then I took my tweezers, but you could take your Take Pick tool or whatever you enjoy working with. Right, Carolyn? That's what I think too. My grandkids would love this. All right, so I'm going to take a purple one and just stick it there. Now remember that once I do this card, now it's going to be here and sit overnight is what I like to do. I'm going to put a little more glue. And my tweezers probably have a little glue on them from the last time I used them. So I'm going to put it down. And make sure these are clean. Because I think I have some glue stuck on the tips from yesterday when I did this. So make sure you have that cleaned off because you don't want them to stick when you're trying to put something down. All right, so then I took a red. See, they're picking up because I've got something. Okay, so we're going to do a red one. There we go. See how it just dropped? That's so much better. And now I'm going to do a little pink one. I think I need more glue right here. You kind of want it in a puddle because you want to make sure that your gumballs stick. And then I took a green. I'm going to add another drop right there and add a blue. All right, so there we go. Remember, if you guys order today, there's no shipping. So there's $50 or more, there's no shipping fee. So today is the day to order if you want to get a few things. That's saving 10% right there. Okay, so these are going off the page a little because it's a little lower than that one, but that's okay to me. I don't care. All right, we're going to do a purple. And like I said, I put quite a bit of glue to hold your gumdrop. I'm going to do a pink one over here. And you want them to just kind of look like you're dropping them. They're just rolling out of the gumball machine. I feel like I'm playing Operation. Don't touch the sides. And a blue. Okay, so now I will just let that sit. I did not feel the need to do any embellishments. I didn't think a ribbon, nothing. I'm keeping these in their little bags so they don't go rolling all over the place. It's really a fun set, you guys. I hope you enjoy it. So here we go. This is what it is. So we have this cute little gumballs. Like I said, you don't have to put the white paper behind it. I had stuck it to the red, and then that's why I did the acetate and all that. But brilliant, Terry, good idea. Add the white behind it and just add it there. I kind of like the plastic behind it because it's a smooth, I don't know, shaky sound, but it does it on the front, so I guess you don't really need to do that. And then I added the little brad here for your little twisty. There is a little circle die right here that allows you to cut out that little 5 cents, and I decided to put it there, but there is a slot there that could be, you know, for your nickels, and you could move that to the side or wherever, I guess, on the top even, if you wanted. But So my little gumballs are on the inside. And then I just kind of added it. Really, really cute. Fun card. It was really fun. I think my grandkids are going to love these. So there's that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And thank you, everybody, for the well wishes. I'm so glad I'm feeling better. I was hoping I wasn't going to be as sick as my husband, because poor thing. He's starting to feel better, but he really went through it. And his was more chest, like I said. Mine's more of a head cold. I sound worse than I feel. And Monday, Monday was bad. I slept a lot, so I'm feeling better. So again, don't forget a couple things. Bingo is the 14th. We are going to have so much fun. I hope you guys will join us. Just go to my blog that is up here on, I'll put it up here on the top in a minute. But don't forget that we're going to do a fancy fold. We're going to do a 3D project. We're going to use Days to Remember as requested and do a fun card. And then we're going to do a regular card. I did do 2 projects in Eden's Garden. And so there's a little list here of things that we used. You will be able to change out sentiments and different things that you want to do. I'm going to send you the punched items. I'm going to send you the DSP. So you'll get the kits for everything to create. And if you don't have anything in particular, you can use something else. So don't worry about that. The other thing I have coming up is my paper share. It's only $40. You will get a quarter of each pack of 8 different DSP packs and 3 specialty papers. And so you will get all of that paper for $40, and that includes shipping to me and back to you. And I always put in a little something for you, so that'll be a lot of fun. And lastly, don't forget that today is free shipping. So I would really appreciate your orders and your business. If you don't have a demonstrator, I would appreciate you shopping with me. This is my December code. And to go to paper share or bingo, you can go right up here, and you can, that is my code. And if you go to my blog, you will go directly to my blog, and on the right side that says shop, there's a big circle. That's where you can go in and go shopping, and it takes you straight to the Stampin' Up website. Right below that is always my current host code. So you can just copy that and take it in with you. If you go into my blog and go into events, it's going to take you to where my bingo and my paper share are, but they are linked below also. So you can just click right there. Thanks to Shauna. Oh, good, Missy. I bet you'll love it. Thanks, Carolyn. I hope so, too. I'm looking forward to it, Jennifer. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. All right, everybody. I think that's about it. Mostly, don't forget today is free shipping. So even if you're buying adhesive or some paper or, you know, any little bit of savings is going to help. Don't forget the stamping kits. Those kits are really great for gifts for people. Maybe you have a coworker, you're not quite sure what to get them, or a niece or nephew. Those kits are really adorable to get people started with stamping. My 7-year-old granddaughter loves them, but so does my 34-year-old daughter. So it's a great thing. Thanks, Debbie. Perfect, Gloria. All right, everybody, have a fantastic rest of your week. I will see you Sunday with my Grassy Grove. It's so cute. I'm really excited to share it with you. It's a fun technique that makes it a lot easier than you think. Elizabeth, you are not very far from me. I'm in Clovis, next to Fresno. All right, everybody, have a great night. Don't forget to come back and leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. You guys have a great rest of your week. I'll see you on Sunday at noon. Bye.